So this is William Brown, that nobody that is supposedly making money from just 4K views a video. But is this actually true? If you have 4K views and you're teaching people to make money, that's actually a lot of views. But even with that, I see there are so many outliers that this channel has. And this teaches us the first lesson that you don't need to have like hundreds of thousands of views on each video. You just need a few outliers that will invite people to your channel and help new people meet you. And then the ones who really want to stay, who are really serious about getting the goal that you help them achieve, then they stay on those other videos. And this is what I want to talk about today, how William Brown made people stay and at the end of the day convert to sales. This breakdown will be super valuable if you're a coach or in some e-learning business, just as this guy is. So the first thing I found that differentiated him from all the other people who try to succeed in this niche is that how he uses color psychology and image and vibe engineering in order to make people want, trust, and like his videos. The one thing that I noticed about his thumbnails in particular is that besides that he has really beautiful view everywhere, this is something that people aspire to have, he also has some colors that combine super well with each other. Look at this. The fact that he has like blue skies, blue holes, this is the color that makes people trust you, like a police officer's uniform. The views, the backgrounds he uses, the vibe, the relaxed vibe he is engineering. This all affects our brains in a way that we want to trust him because he shows us that he has what we want to have. So this means in our brains, right, that we need to do what he tells us to do to get what we want, which is what he shows. So separately, these colors represent blue trust, green makes people think about money and success, red makes people feel energetic, like they need to act now, which is why he uses some text in this red color, and yellow gets attention, and yellow is also the color of gold. That also works really, really well. But the main thing I wanted to show here is not that you use these colors and suddenly you'll convey some meaning. It's the combination of those little things, little details that work together really, really well to create that vibe. Another tactical things that I wanted to point out here is that he has some attributes. It is a good idea to have certain physical attributes that you show in your videos, or maybe like design attributes that you show in your content posts. And for many, even B2B brands, it's some logos. For example, I work with YouTube, so YouTube logo is an attribute that I wanted to associate with, right? But for him, it was even cooler because it was very unique. He always has a coffee cup in his thumbnails, not always, but like a lot of time. And subconsciously conveys the meaning that I'm so successful, now I can relax. And we all know how good it is after hard work or before hard work day, right, to drink a cup of coffee. Then he uses a whiteboard. This conveys the idea that he's a teacher, he knows what he's talking about, he has this mind maps presented, right? When we see this whiteboard, we anticipate to be taught, to learn something new, to understand some new concepts. And another attribute he has is that all his videos look similar so that people remember his brand. It's always a good idea to have some similarity in your style, in your design, in your message, right? And he conveys this relaxed, entrepreneur, successful vibe, so people remember because it repeats from the video to video. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is that he shows the life that we want. His fancy apartment in Dubai or villa in Bali. And this is not like traditional Imangaji expensive vibe. This is a little bit different. And I think this is an important point here, that even though you kind of target the same audience, the one who wants to get rich, people who want to get coached, right, to make more money and like make money niche, we feel like it's the same. Expensive watches, expensive cars, but actually within this niche of making money online, there are different sub-niches. I wouldn't call them sub-niches, probably subcultures. I know that's a different term, but subcultures within the niche mean that there are people within the niche who kind of want the same thing, which is money, but actually it's a different thing for everybody. And for Imangaji's viewers, it's maybe some smart casual style, shiny objects, very professionally, highly edited content. But for this subculture, people who watch William Brown, it is like a very relaxed vibe, focused on work, not on flashy stuff. And this idea that you can be very simple not focus on this materialism, right? And focus more on the experience. So why this all works so well? People don't just buy products, they buy the life they want. Everyone thinks if I learn from him, I could live like that too. And being relaxed shows that you're really successful, not just pretending, when in reality you're desperate and you're jittery, you're hustling and you want money right now. And it's like, you've kind of got this. So the brain tricks happening here, aspirational identity. So he shows the lifestyle that people want. Another social proof thing that he has is that he has to Comma Club award at the wall. And I think if you have that even, you already are like miles ahead of other people, other entrepreneurs. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter really what branding you use, what design and colors, everybody's looking at your achievements. So if you have big achievements, there's no reason really why you shouldn't be successful as a coach. Making complicated stuff look easy is another trick that William uses. And this is one of my favorites because you see these mind maps that he has, they convey a certain feeling that we have when looking at those. Here's William's genius move with mind maps. They look complicated and complex, right? And when something looks complex, people think that it's super smart. And we think that he is super smart because he can make such a complex structure out of something. And this also creates a certain vibe, right? So if you want to look smart, create a mind map like I did right now. It was very easy, but it does help you understand things better. And it helps me to structure my content better and, not gonna lie, look smarter. So even though mind maps look really hard, they are actually very easy. There's a reason why a lot of learning hacks are really concentrated on creating a mind map of the concept that you want to understand and learn fast. So even though they look hard, they actually represent things and concepts in a very structural and simple to understand way. This is why we like it. We feel like this is something hard, but something that we understood. And this makes us feel smart. If I get this, I'm probably clever too, just as this host. So if you have such an opportunity, I would really recommend to try a couple things with mind maps here and there, especially if you have some view on Dubai, down your sleeve. So the brain tricks that are happening here, cognitive is, so our brain trusts things that are easy to understand, and mind maps are one of those things. Illusion of knowledge. When we understand a simple explanation, like mind maps make the explanation simple, we think that we are experts on the whole topic. It's like thinking that you can cook because you watched a cooking show. Authority bias. When something looks complex, we think the person explaining it is really smart. So William looks like a genius, even though he's keeping it very simple. Cognitive load theory. So this theory tells that our brain learns better when information is organized and simple. Mind maps do exactly this. They organize messy information into easy chunks that we can get with one video. So these are my 3 theories on why he's so successful and is making $500,000 a month just making simple YouTube videos. If you want to build your YouTube strategy, check the link in the description. You'll see my process, my case studies, and if this is something that you want to explore, book a call.